So we're here today at RSNA, and luckily I've had Woojin Kim, Dr. Woojin Kim, joining me. You're the interim chief of MSK at UPenn Hospital and co-founder of Montage.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule.
Thank you for having me.
So how has the show been so far? You know, we kicked it off with an inspiring keynote, really challenging radiology. Have you seen that tone continue throughout the week?
Yeah, I'm very excited about this particular meeting. It's been exciting, very busy.
Sure.
I really enjoy the energy on the show floor. Also, all the presentations, educational sessions, they've been all terrific.
Great. Now, I know you have some passions in specific areas that you're really focused on or are passionate about in radiology. Some of that being design, comfort, ergonomics for both radiologists and patients.
Yes.
Have you seen some progress on that front at RSNA?
Yeah, in general, I think what I'm noticing this year is more evolutionary rather than revolutionary.
Sure.
But I have noticed, especially when it comes to applications, I do think people are paying more attention to the aesthetics.
Sure.
So a lot of the applications are looking, what I like to say, they're looking prettier.
Right. That's
I think they're taking a lot of the inspirations from the companies like Apple, where they put a lot of emphasis on usability and design. And so I'm seeing a lot more applications that are not only looking prettier to the eye, but also have a better usability.
Great.
So I think people are more paying a lot more attention to that, which I appreciate. And from an ergonomic standpoint, I think I've seen other companies that are demonstrating different ergonomic solutions, and they're also showing improvements since the last year's show.
So the theme of this year's show is patients first. So you're seeing a lot of different technology from IT systems to engage with your patients for image exchange. You're seeing a lot of just really a patient focus, trying to get radiology back in front of that patient or address patient satisfaction. Have you seen anything interesting on that front?
Yeah, one thing that I thought was pretty neat was I saw an MR scanner that was quiet. And MR scanners are extremely loud,
right.
And I think it creates a lot of discomfort for the patients. And technology like that, where the scanner actually functions silently, is I think one area that really puts patients first.
Sure.
So I thought that was a pretty good example that goes with the theme of the show. Yeah, that's one example that I can think of that was pretty neat.
Great. Now, business intelligence is big at this show, and Montage is actually in our booth showing a proof of concept. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the Carestream booth and your Signal product?
Okay, great. Yeah, so this year we're showing a prototype, work in progress, called Montage Signal, which is it's an application that can run alongside your voice recognition, speech recognition software. One of the things that Montage has done in the past was, because we can actually analyze the radiology reports, we've been analyzing reports and let's say the technologist got an X-ray of the left hand, and the radiologist said there's no fracture in the right hand. Well, somebody made a mistake, and Montage application has been able to detect that error, mismatch, and then let the radiologist know. Now, the feedback we've been getting after we showed this application well over a year ago is that, it's nice that you guys are detecting these errors, but I like to detect them before I even actually sign off. Why do I get to find that after I sign off, right? So Montage Signal does exactly that. What it does is it actually watches you as you dictate. And as you dictate each word, it analyzes the words and then compares it in real time with the data that comes from, say, Carestream, RIS, and PACS, and matches it against, is this radiologist talking about things that are matching according to the metadata that the system is showing. And so, for example, in that particular example of the whole left and right hand, there's an image of the left hand, and as soon as the radiologist says there is no fracture in the right hand, it will flag it and say, hey, there's something wrong with this report. And we've been doing that with, for example, it's a male patient and you start talking about uterus. It will say, hey, are you sure you want to talk about this body part? Because this is supposed to be a male patient, are you sure? Those kinds of typical classic errors that we've noticed. We identified actually, we want to do this sort of 80-20 rule. We don't want to be able to detect every error. I think that's sort of big task.
That is a big
but we wanted to catch 80% of the errors that we commonly see that the radiologists make, and we put that into Montage Signal so that when users of Carestream will be able to look at the images and dictate in their wrist their reporting solution, it will actually, Montage Signal will constantly watch as you type, and it will actually notify you if there's a problem. And this is being done without having the radiologist press the sign-off button. It just kind of constantly watches and say, hey, by the way, there's an error you just made. You might want to correct it before you sign off.
Big brother to make sure that the common mistakes aren't happening.
But happy, friendly brother.
In a good way, but no.
Yeah.
What a tool that would be, and how it would improve quality.
Yes.
And just
I think that's one thing that is putting patients first.
Right.
In the past, he's talked about, Dr. Chang in his speech talked about, in the past people have been focusing on increasing productivity.
Right.
But now
it's quality.
It's quality.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it is really quality for the patients, not for me.
Right.
And products like Montage, what it can do is it really improves the quality of the radiology reports, which in the end benefits our patients.
Great. Well, I think the feedback we've heard on Signal has been great.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
We're excited to show it, and I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks.
Thank you.